So this is item number 3 I can see here from the number. This is my 3rd installment on this device. Today is the 18th of February 2024. It's about 3:30 on a Sunday afternoon. This morning I recorded a David Bowie Diamond Dogs CD onto cassette through the laptop, and then I made a cover by finding a Diamond Dogs image on the line, and I was happy with the result. So I've got myself what looks like a legitimate Diamond Dogs cassette. And then after I finished that, I just kind of seemed to lose interest in everything. Couldn't get myself motivated to do anything. I'd say that was about 2 hours ago, because I got up at around 10:30 this morning. Flo's gone off to Maraval. She's coming back with Tuco tomorrow. And I'm wondering how long my obsession with cassettes will last. I now am in possession of quite a quantity of blank cassettes, cassette tapes, and there is this notion that I could record the entire Bowie catalogue, pretty much. I haven't counted yet, but I must have about 20 Bowie cassettes. But there's still some I don't have. Ziggy Stardust, Hunky Dory. I have them on CD, so I could just record the CD to cassette, make a case. Then I could do The Next Day, Black Star. And it is possible with the amount of blank tapes I had that I could actually have the entire Bowie catalogue, more or less, all on cassette. And that might be a nice thing to have. That would be, if I didn't want to put all the tapes on display or anything, if I wanted to leave them in a box, I could at least put the Bowie ones on display. But there we go. I had to push myself to walk. Just felt in a very lazy humour. I found myself drifting into playing chess game after chess game. And I realised, shit, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Am I really gonna not do anything? So now I'm out, gone past the olive trees. And this might not be very long. A very long audio bit, because I may just allow my mind. What the hell was that? I think that was a bird. I may just allow my mind to wander. I haven't brought any music. I haven't brought any cassettes. I haven't brought any headphones. I've decided to have a break from everything and just see what comes to my mind as I slowly walk in here and look at the field that's been ploughed recently. February. I'm taking things for granted today. It's funny. The other day I was anxious about having to tell Bernard that we want to build a fence to keep Tuco in, and then I was worried about the complications in organising my pension. I'm not worried about those things today. I feel they're kind of all going to solve themselves. I'm going to do, and bit by bit I'm finding out more and more about the pension stuff, and the Bernard thing will hopefully solve itself as well. What I'm trying to say is that at that moment, yesterday, the day before, those things were the posted that gave me the reason to be anxious, and a bit depressed. It's because of this. If the pension thing was solved, if Bernard was happy about the idea of a fence and was, no problems with it, my life would be perfect again. Well, today it is kind of like that. It is. I'm in a situation where I don't have any note to attach, and I feel anxious. I don't have anything that's digging at me. And what I'm left with is a bit like what Schopenhauer would say: when all the problems are solved, then you end up with a kind of a restlessness or even a boredom. I don't have that, but there is a certain, what do? I should be doing something feeling. What actually comes to mind just a second now is there's a continuing desire to get back to recording some stuff. I've recorded some of my music to cassette as well, obviously. And I was really impressed by the Man at the Bar song. It just sounded nice on the cassette. And I like the way the words and these two characters on that song have aged. It's one of those pieces that's aged well. To me, anyway. Because lots of stuff I do, I'd hardly bother listening to them anymore because they're terrible. But that one, I still like it. It's got some atmosphere and some kind of an emotion to it. And so that's inspired me to do some more stuff using old notebooks and trying to put together some kind of lyric. So that may happen, but it's a lot of organizing for that, because I think I have to actually download the Ableton Live CDs onto my laptop. I don't think I have it all there. Have it at all on that. But that's something I may consider doing. Of course, you don't have to do anything. I could just take the rest of this day. The other thing, before I go on to saying about doing nothing, the other thing is to just do a massive organizing job. And it's like taking an inventory of things. I don't know why, but I kind of going through everything I find very therapeutic. So to just tidy up everything in the drawer in the bedroom, take all my stuff out, kind of check everything, and then start putting stuff away carefully. Even go through all the tapes again, separate blank tapes from the other tapes, and kind of carefully store them away, make space. That kind of thing appeals to me. But I may do nothing. I may go home and eat something and then just lounge around and maybe listen to some music, maybe put a record on, because I enjoyed listening to the two records, Low and The Best of Bowie, on my record player. There's something nice about watching vinyl and the covers. There was a time that's all I used to do. Yeah, it's funny, I never really collected cassette tapes when I was in my teenage years. I had a few tapes, but it really was all vinyl. Even when we had the music centre, where we had a cassette player, the only cassettes we ever bought would have been blank. I just don't remember ever having cassettes until the Walkman came along, and then I must have got them. And then my main collection really is from Oxfam. All those walks around South Ealing, up and down to Ealing Broadway, and always going by this Oxfam shop that always had a few tapes. And over the years I bought a lot of stuff there. I'm selling some of the same stuff I got there. Stuff I got for 50p or £1, I'm selling it for 10. All nonsense, of course. All nonsense, of course. I was thinking I should be much more high, kind of, in a way. You think I'd be much more relieved and content in that I've just done all my exams, and they were all really kind of on my mind just with the beginning of the new year. You know, I had to go to Dr. Merite. I had to have a blood, didn't have to, but it was time for my blood test to see Dr. Ofu. It was time for this IRM scan in Manosque. It was time to go to Nice to see Celia Mashi about my eye, and all of these things which can cause anxiety. They're all finished. And everything was fine. In fact, the tumour, I can hardly say that, it just doesn't seem, it seems like I'm exaggerating. It doesn't seem like I'm telling the truth when I say that, even to myself. It sounds too dramatic. If I say the few cancer cells, it sounds a little easier to digest, but they've apparently it's even gone smaller. Anyway, so everything's done and everything's been fine, and there's nothing on the IRM scan. So you think here I am a week after all of that stuff. You think you should be kind of walking on a cloud, you know? Looking ahead to this kind of just kind of, it's not endless, I know, but it could be almost, in a sense, kind of an endless road ahead, because your mother and all the sisters, they do seem to have that longevity gene. I'm just letting the tractor through. I'm also noticing here that it looks like I've got hardly any battery left. The battery seems to be gone almost, and you know why that is? Because I left the battery in, and for some reason in this device, somehow I think the batteries get used up even when it's not switched on. I don't know how that happens, but they just disappear very quickly. So yeah, you think you should be floating on a cloud. You've got like everything's okay in this vista in front of you. And when I say to myself, hopefully it'll cause maybe that sensation to happen. We'll see. Let's take another pause. I got people coming in front of me. It's unusual to see that I've just passed by a couple I think it's a couple. A big guy, big tall guy, with a sexy blonde-haired woman who's wearing a really sexy red dress. I walk here 1,000 times a year, and it's very seldom you see a woman of any type that's sexy. Maybe in the height of the summer you might, but even then it's kind of rare. You know, wearing a dress above the knee. Yeah, anyway, that says more about me, I suppose. So yeah, I think that's a good thing to meditate on. Just the fact that I got the clearance, because they really are the things that matter. If you get bad news from that side, then all the other stuff, pensions, cassettes, Flo's mood, the Connemara, they all become very, very irrelevant. I should remember that. I should try and make them relevant. As of now, on this peaceful Sunday. So I think I'm gonna say goodbye for here. We got 16.5 minutes done. Track 3. And a battery that seems to be about to run out. So I shall say adios and goodbye for now.